live show from the Stand Up for News radio show. If you don't know, Stand Up for News is a local radio show. It's right on 106.1 FM here in Clearwater. What is it?
1340 AM.
1340 AM.
106.1 FM.
Yeah, that one I got. Thanks.
My hearing's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
You're old.
So they actually record right down the street here, but today they're going to be doing an in-person Stand Up for News comedy show. So please give a warm round of applause to Mac James Esterline, Manny Villa, and Captain Jim Marvin of Stand Up for News.
Yeah! Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dick Colligan. Hey, Jim, you coming?
Coming.
He takes a little longer than us, you guys.
Yeah, he's the only member of the crew who's an actual senior citizen, so he needs a little bit of time to get up there.
Yeah, but it looks like he's amongst friends. So, Stand Up for News, it's a joke. We are stand-up comics, and we tell the news, basically, is what it's all about. I am Mac James Esterline. We've been on the radio about a year. You can find us on Stand Up for News on YouTube. This is my co-host, Captain Jim Marvin, the man with a silky voice. Say hello, Jim.
Hello out there, everybody. Good to see you.
And this is my other co-host, Manny Avila.
Hello there.
And I am their co-host. And we brought some of the best of the news from the past year here.
The best and the worst of the news from the past quarter year review, James.
Yeah, we have all kinds of news stories. Yeah.
We stand up for the news because the news can't just stand up for itself. It was born without legs. It's in a wheelchair all the time. So it calls us when someone tries to shake him down for lunch money.
Need some help up sometimes.
Yeah. So you guys ready to stand up for the news too? You ready for some news jokes?
Woo! Yeah.
All right. That was a good reaction. All right. Last summer, a herd of deer overran a Wisconsin pub. Yeah, one smashed right through the front window. This was a viral video. Got millions of hits. They arrested that one. They think it was Blitzen from the North Pole. Always getting blitzed. Yeah. But that's what you get when you advertise Jello shots for $1.
All right, so I don't know
back to you, Manny.
I don't know if you guys heard this, but last month Joe Biden announced that he'll be running for re-election. You know, let's just thank God that he's running and not riding a bike, right?
Because he fell off a bike.
Something like that.
That's it. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you. Next week, CNN will host a live town hall meeting for Donald Trump to answer questions from Republican-leaning voters in New Hampshire. The network has already hired actor Alec Baldwin to load the gun that Trump will use on live TV to shoot himself in the foot with.
I have one of those guns. I'm pretty good at it, too.
In Tampa Airport, flights were halted after a plane skidded off the runway during its landing. The passengers and the plane both left skid marks. You guys don't have to laugh at that.
It's funny because
I was
moving right along.
I didn't know I was a passenger as well. That's why.
I don't write all these.
All right, animal rescuers in Texas said a suspected coyote named Toast will be made available for adoption after a DNA test confirmed that it was, in fact, 100% dog the whole time. When asked, the animal stated that despite the results of the DNA test, she will continue to identify as a coyote. All right?
Last week, Rosie O'Donnell reveals she is an actual psychic. Sorry, she is an actual psychic in real life, yeah. But trust me, she's no medium.
At last weekend's annual White House Correspondents' Dinner, President Biden joked to guests that if they find themselves disoriented or confused, it's either because they're, quote, drunk, or Marjorie Taylor Greene, or, he added, Joe Biden. Good one, Joe. It's still daylight. I think it's your bedtime.
Is it after 4 o'clock p.m. already? Or
It's close enough.
All right. Well, okay. Well, look, the Guinness World Record holder for the world's longest beard on a living person has broken his own record in Canada when his hair was measured at a staggering 8 feet and 3 inches long. Now that he's broken the record, the man plans on donating most of it to the Jada Pinkett Smith family and the rest of the Smith family. All right. I don't know if you guys know this, but she doesn't have any hair. So.
You folks might be familiar with this story. It happened a month ago in Clearwater, Florida. A Dunkin' Donuts employee got into an argument with a man who brought his children there to get Dunkin' Donuts. He followed the man and the children out to the parking lot, and he shot the man once in each leg. Wow. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
I guess he won't be running on Dunkin'.
Oh, no, that hurts. And we're in Clearwater.
Crawling on Dunkin'.
Hope that wasn't one of your neighbors or anything. That's, yeah, let's go here. The city of Kyle, Texas, is celebrating its name by attempting to gather at least 2,326 people named Kyle in the same place at the same time to set a new world record. This is the city's second attempt at the record. The first attempt was spoiled by a neighboring city called Karen, Texas, who kept calling the police on them.
In last month, a teacher at a middle school in Tallahassee, Florida, is behind bars after being charged with overseeing a real-life fight club in her classroom. That teacher should have known she would get caught because, guys, what's the first rule of Fight Club? Nobody talks about Fight Club. And, guys, what's the second rule of Fight Club?
You don't talk
Nobody
about
talks
Fight
about
Club,
Fight Club. And what's the third rule of Fight Club? No teenager in the world can ever keep their mouth shut about it.
This is true.
Missing Australia man 2 weeks ago. His body was found inside of a crocodile's stomach 3 days ago.
Ooh.
Yeah. Guess where they're going to bury his remains, Manny?
I don't
Down
know.
under.
Oh, man.
Down under.
Back, mate.
Outback, down under. All right, so 3 obese siblings out of Michigan who weigh a combined 2,500 pounds may set the world record for the heaviest family. When asked, one of the siblings stated, "I don't know, I think obesity runs in the family. I don't know about you guys, but I find it hard to believe that anyone runs in that family."
Back in March, a video posted online shows a man and a woman sitting in a Florida river with a man attempting to hand feed an alligator a sandwich when the approaching alligator suddenly turns and bites the hand of the woman sitting next to him. A Florida wildlife expert told Stand Up for News, when given a choice for lunch, alligators will always go for ladyfingers. I guess I'd like to have a dessert first.
That's a good one, bud. Joe Biden hung a medal on a recipient backwards in a viral video a couple months ago. When asked if he always puts people's medals on backwards, he responded, "Like my underwear, it depends."
All right, see, KFC Thailand recently stirred controversy after posting on social media that they'll be releasing KFC-scented incense sticks to celebrate the Lunar New Year's. A lot of people got upset about that. The incense sticks, which come in 2 sets, have been designed to look and smell like your favorite KFC restaurants. One set smells like 11 herbs and spices. The other smells like minimum wage and single motherhood.
I know this.
All too well.
A fisherman known as, quote, the ketchup boat guy, who survived 24 days stranded at sea eating only ketchup, was offered money by condiment manufacturer the Heinz Corporation to buy a new boat with a GPS, but said the money wasn't enough for one with a modern navigation system. I can tell you as a captain, today's sophisticated marine electronic systems are expensive. So come on, Heinz, catch up with the times, will you?
Hey, he told us we had to be clean. You guys like clean material or dirty material? Both? Clean, Dick says, you guys. But there's no kids here, Dick. All right, well, last week in Florida, a woman shot, this is literally last week, a woman shot and killed her husband's parrot. The parrot, its final words before dying during the domestic dispute were, "I want a divorce."
I didn't know my parents had a parrot. That's funny.
Let me do another quick one.
Apparently they do.
Let me do another quick one. Dallas Airport jet plane mechanic last month was vacuumed into the engine while working on it and killed instantly. Sucks to be him.
Is it a mystery one?
If you want.
We
do a segment on our show called Laughs from the Past. This week in history news.
All right, so this is a historical event here. So historians have discovered that the earliest recorded game of The Floor is Lava actually took place in 79 AD in Pompeii.
The floor is lava.
Like, what is Pompeii?
In 1659, the first check written for £400 is now on display at Westminster Abbey in London. If you look close enough at it, you can still see an imprint on the check which reads overdrawn. Better bounce the checks back then.
I don't know if everybody knows this, but Vladimir Zelensky used to be a successful stand-up comedian before he was Ukraine's president. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
Yeah. I bet if his archenemy Vladimir Putin would have been a successful stand-up comedian as well, he would probably still bomb. That joke kills in Ukraine. It kills in Ukraine.
All right, let's see. On March 10th, 1876, Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, made the first successful phone call ever recorded. Moments later, he learned that his car's extended warranty had expired.
I like how the trash can's like right behind here.
Hey, maybe some of y'all remember this
Just gonna
back
throw
in,
my notes in there.
back in 1991. U.S. President George H.W. Bush is hospitalized for an erratic heartbeat. The entire nation panics, and the stock market collapses at the prospect of Vice President Dan Quayle being in charge of the White House. Fortunately, in a deft political maneuver, President Bush left a note on the desk of the Oval Office for Quayle, which read, "Out to lunch, Danny. Back soon, GB." Good thinking, George.
Skull and Bones, the secret society, is being sued by a local politician for using his likeness as their logo. Yes, Rick Scott is super upset with him.
See, a New Jersey library announced that a book was recently returned anonymously after being checked out in July of 1979. So that means the book was missing for 44 years before it finally came back.
Whoa.
Just like my father. That might have been his autobiography. I'm not sure. I got to check it out. You know?
Hey, I paid the overdue fees on that book, Manny. Let's not bring that up again.
We're still waiting for the DNA test for his mom. Jim, back to you.
Thank you. NATO officials say Russians seem to be baiting U.S. jets to dogfight in the skies over Syria. For their part, the Russian Air Command says they are not trying to provoke combat with U.S. forces, but are merely auditioning for a role in the third movie of the Top Gun trilogy, Top Gun 3, Return of the Jedi. May the Air Force be with you.
Is it coming out in 3D?
I don't know. It's probably
IMAX?
one of those. Yeah, IMAX. It's going to be way more expensive than it's worth.
Here's a story I think we can all relate to. Johnson & Johnson is facing cancel culture right now for racism, you guys. Yeah, due to them only using Caucasian babies to make their baby powder. You ever seen brown baby powder? You haven't.
Way to make everybody uncomfortable.
Here, read that.
So
Manny.
listen, I'm all out of jokes. You know,
Part of the
but-
show is I give him my cards
Yeah,
to
I'm
blow.
all out of jokes, but unlike Fox News, I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm going to actually read one of his jokes, all right? All right, Taylor, or any news. I should
Taylor.
say. Taylor Swift. Okay, I'm going to preface this by saying
You guys know who Taylor
he has
Swift
the
is?
handwriting of a
Good.
fourth
Helps the
grader.
joke.
All right? I'm just going to say that.
Calling me
A
out.
fourth grader who drank too much milk. All right? Taylor Swift wins another Grammy. I wish I could win a Grammy. Mine both died.
Good job, bud.
Yeah. My Grammy was an alcoholic.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, last month, the mayor of Tampa gave pop superstar Taylor Swift a key to the city when she came for a concert and invited her to be mayor for the day. Shortly after Swift took the title of honorary mayor, she received a flood of complaints from Tampa residents about traffic in the city. Taylor issued a response that read, "Shake it off, highway don't care. If you don't like driving through Tampa, all you had to do was stay." If you suspect that I had to ask my niece about Taylor Swift songs so I could write that joke, you guessed right. I'm way more of a Rihanna fan anyway.
Elon Musk buys Twitter last summer for $44 billion. Remember that? That's crazy since it's free on the App Store. What a loser. He puts the twit in Twitter.
Somebody should tweet him and let him know. All right, let's see here. All right, Evan's going to get a random card from my friend here. It's like a magic trick, you know. Just take the card. I'll read it. Okay, I'll try my best to get past his. Let's see. In Thailand, a tourist bungee jumper was down.
Dared.
Was dared. Well, okay.
Dared. They dared him to do it.
Yeah. Was dared by his friend to try bungee jumping for the first time, and the cord snapped, and he let's just just have him go for it here.
Free fell.
Then he free fell. Don't worry, he survived with minor injuries, so he should still bounce back next time. He said he knows to pick truth instead. There you go. I kind of read it
Way
like
to
a
sell
poem.
it, bud.
I kind of read it like a poem there at the end, you know. Need some snapping to go along with it, you know.
Several people were killed in a shooting at a shopping center in Copenhagen last summer. Harry Styles even canceled his concert there that night. Yeah. However, they did have some sales that were to die for.
You guys are dark for laughing at that one.
Here's one on a brighter note, Manny. A 101-year-old Florida man named Len Grimsley is still playing golf at a course in Clearwater that is also 101 years old, where it takes Len around 101 swings just to hit the ball once. Len's golf buddies say his swing is still good, but that they keep watching for his stroke. Despite his advanced age, Len has a great time and even recovers all of the golf balls he hits that day. See, guys, growing old doesn't mean you have to lose your...
don't say it.
I won't say it. I won't say it.
You guys like Donald Trump?
That's a tough
All right.
question.
Well, I'm telling these folks anyway.
That's a tough question to answer. I'm sorry, guys.
Donald Trump, in an interview when he was asked about the economy, if Black Friday would help and increase the economy during the COVID year, he said, "I've never seen an Ice Cube movie."
I thought he was in Black Friday
There's
too.
more.
Was he not?
Yes. He was then asked about the commemoration of Harriet Tubman, and he said, "That's that chick that invented the subway." No, it's the Underground Railroad, silly.
Was he talking about the sandwich or?
No, Jared invented the subway. Jared.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there was another part to the Trump thing. But go ahead, Manny.
Go ahead, Jim. Take it from here.
In Florida, law enforcement officials are speaking out against the state ban Governor Ron DeSantis has placed on the purchase of drones manufactured in China, saying that brands built in the U.S. or inferior can spontaneously combust and fall out of the sky. A spokesman for DeSantis said the governor just doesn't want his poll numbers to be the only thing in Florida right now falling from the sky in flames.
Several banks are being bought recently and collapsing as well. Last week, a Swiss bank was bought up that has been around since 1812, and it was bought out. With all the banks being bought, Donald Trump was quoted saying he wants to try to buy Tyra Banks.
Can you do that?
No, he's just racist.
Things like on that note.
I don't know the guy.
Back in March, Donald Trump slammed his Republican rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, saying that without Trump's support, DeSantis, quote, wouldn't be governor. He'd probably be working either at a cigar store or a law firm. The Stand Up for News poll of local voters finds a majority agree with the former president's statements and added that DeSantis also reminds them of a sleazy used car salesman, a televangelist who got busted for embezzlement, or the guy who traps and removes squirrels from your attic. I know he looked familiar.
Last week, Bryan Adams, you guys know who that is? Famous Canadian singer?
Yeah.
He reveals his famous song, The Summer of '69, was not actually about the year. You get it, right, Wendy?
What was it about, Jay?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I don't quite get that.
I don't know. Last
Could-
one,
could-
though.
could
This
you-
is
could
our
you
last
explain?
joke. You better make it hit.
You guys know Patrick Mahomes, right, from the Kansas City Chiefs? Right? No? All right. Well, there you go. Jackson Mahomes is his brother, so you definitely don't know who that is. But he's on social media, and he makes a big deal
He's
all
a
the
big
time,
viral
right?
video
Yeah,
kid.
he was on social media. He has a star NFL brother, and he was arrested yesterday for aggravated sexual battery. So I'm wondering if that's the kind that goes into vibrators.
One more, and then I'm done. This is the one I was going to tell you the other day.
The poor man's trying to save us.
I was trying to tell my buddy Dick.
trying to-
Thank you, Dick, for having us out here, and thank you, Leah, right, for hosting this thing. This is great. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is my last one. Ed Sheeran reveals that isn't his real name. Did you guys know that? Yeah, it's actually what his last date did, running into oncoming traffic when she heard his music. She ran right into oncoming traffic.
ran.
Thank you. That's us. That's
What
Stand
a
Up for
great way
News.
to end it. I'm sure he glad you got that joke in there, Jim.
Woo! Check us out. Check us out. You can catch us on local radio here, 106.1 FM on Thursday nights, 8:30 p.m. or online on YouTube at Stand Up for News. The best take on news in Tampa Bay.
Get off the stage,
And the world.
Jim!
Don't tell me what to do.
You're done! Get the
One
hook
more
out!
time, guys. Stand up for news.
Some of these jokes are still there.
Let him hear it.
Appreciate that.
The news you didn't know you didn't need.
I filmed it on TikTok. It's not like my stand-up at all, though. This is more like, I get it. Yeah, you gotta
Give us 1 second. We're going to do a little stage turnaround here.
I don't think I got any of this.
My phone's still recording.
Don't go nowhere.
So I got What I got going on with the
Nope.
send me a text message. That's mine. I'm James. I'll write it on the back.
Can't get the broadcast studio on the ground.
The radio station.
Yeah, no, it's
you get the calls. They would be like, actually, I'm
Squatting. I feel like this is what I've been doing. I'm squatting.
By the way, I got some merchandise for sale here if anyone's interested. I got some T-shirts,
T-shirts.
all for a good cause. One of them is the very one that I'm wearing right here, Comedy Not Cocaine.
Okay.
A portion of the proceeds go to Mr. James Esterline's Rehab Fund.
I haven't had a drink since July 5th.
There you go. It's paying off.
You would cross up the knot.
Edward, A-E-D-R-I. 602.
Back up by the white
07.
and Facebook.
I'm on
Yeah. It is what it is.
Okay.
My last
I can send you a copy on TikTok.
I
Yeah,
got
take that. I'm gonna give that to. Send it up front. I can download it and send it to you on my
It's I have enough to do live, so I'm not gonna just type it
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience during our technical changeover here. We're going to bring on our next comedian. He's originally from Los Angeles. He's been in several TV shows, and he's recently moved to Florida. You can see him online at David Aranovich. Please welcome David Aranovich.
Woo! Go get him, Tiger.
Hi guys,
Hi.
this is nice. We're all in a shade. All in shade. But it's like I feel like I'm in a castle, and what are those things called? A moat? Where there's like a river around the castle.
Yep.
And you can't get to the enemy except you're not the enemy.
247 likes.
It's like there's the shadow over here. And
We're
there's
gonna end
shadow
it now
over there.
though, because I gotta go to work.
No!